Something did not seat right. Gee, dang it. Pull it up. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody for watching my videos and subscribing to the channel. It's Eric here from Riggs Garage, and I wanted to show you the short block assembly of the engine for the 70 Mustang Fastback. I'm getting really excited about this project. I've got piles of parts arriving now. I've got a new fuel system in boxes. I have most of a new brake system. I am keeping the drum brakes for now because that's what I have, and there are lots of reusable parts, so it will stop. Today I'm going to show you the short block though. In this video, you can expect to see a DIY hone job on the cylinders. I'll clean that up. I'm going to do main plastic gauging to check the oil clearances there. I'm going to put the main caps on, those bearings of course. I'm going to do piston rings in another video, which I already posted, so you can check that out. I'm going to put the pistons in the engine in this video, the timing chain, the oil pump, and finally show you how to straighten out a sheet metal oil pan that's been torqued down too hard by the previous people. Here we go! I'll show you a couple befores here. Before, you can see it's just got smooth wear. Alright, here's my cylinder honing tool, Harbor Freight Special. It's got like a medium grit on it, and I'm going to use a drill. Medium speed. We're going for a 45-degree crosshatch in these cylinders. I don't want to hone much, I don't want to take much material off, but I do want to have a nice crosshatch that's going to hold oil for a good ring break-in. So then the cylinder walls will break in with the brand new rings, and everything will live in harmony and be happy. A couple other notes. I'm going to move in and out fairly fast to get that 45-degree. I'm going to use a light oil, not like a motor oil. I'm going to use a light oil like this PB Blaster that I also use to polish the crank. The PB Blaster is lighter, and it's going to allow any material that comes loose to wash away. So I'll use a lot of that penetrating oil. When you're pulling it out of the cylinder, you want to make sure it's still spinning. You never want to leave it in there when it stops. Oh yeah. Trying to clean some of the big stone material out, because the stone sheds. Yeah, see, this is looking pretty good. We've got, looks like between 30 and 45 degree. Maybe I need to go even faster in and out. But you can see the cross hatching. And again, I don't want to take much material out. Now it's time for some soapy water through the bores to get all of the gunk out of there that I just created. So I'm not just going to put a bunch of cleaning on here to get screen time, so we're going to move on now. Alright, everything has been soaped and watered, so now I'm going to do a final cleaning of the bores with ATF fluid and some white paper towels. And once those white paper towels come out white and clean, this thing is clean and ready to assemble. Here's after a first scrub, and then it just gets better. Okay, this whole thing is clean. I've wiped these out with my fingers just to get any possible dirt or anything out of there. Make sure these are solid so nothing will mess up the bearing clearances. I'm going to put these main bearings in now. I'm going to put them in dry with no assembly lube, and we're going to run the test where we use plastigauge for the clearances. So as always, we have oil holes here, and the bearings have oil holes on one side. The other side they don't have any. So if you put the side that has no oil hole where there's an oil hole, that bearing will get no oil, and you will be redoing all of your work. So just pressing them in until it's flush and beautiful. There's a tab on this side and no tab on that side, so you know for sure that you got it in correctly. You hear a little bit of a click when they go in. I'll show you how to check bearing clearances. I'm using plastigauge here. So basically all of my caps now have fresh bearings in them, right? So this is plastigauge. On the cover of the product, you can see that it has measurements. What this is a strip of plastic that you're gonna put under each bearing. Then you're gonna torque the engine caps down to spec, and it's gonna smash that plastic. So the width of the plastic is then measured by this scale here. You see, you get a 1,000th, 15 thousandths, 2 thousandths, and 3 thousandths. The flatter it is, the smaller the clearance. So 1 thousandths can be pretty tight, 15 thousandths, a little better. Then you have 2 and 3 thousandths. So inside each package, you just peel it apart, and you can see that there's a strip of plastic. So I'm going to cut that to size and put it on each of my bearing caps. I'm going to lay it fore and aft this way so I can see if there's any variance in clearance along here. I'm going to set the cap on, make sure it is going in the correct direction. There's an arrow on each cap pointing towards the front of the motor. Now I'm going to lay plastigauge on each of the main caps and torque them down. Assembly lube. So the crankshaft failed the tests. The clearances were uneven and the crank did not turn easily at all with the new bearings. So I ended up taking it to the machine shop and they completely remachined the crankshaft, and then it was perfect. I had to buy larger bearings, so it's 30 thousandths over now. So here I am installing the crank finally. Rather have too much than not enough. Torque sequence on these are 45, 55, and then 70 foot-pounds for the final torque. A few things I want to note. I'm using a lot of assembly lube. One off. And I'm making sure I glob the ARP special Moly assembly lube on the threads here so I get the perfect torque specifications. And when I'm prepping the pistons, before I put the compressor on, I'm dipping them in oil here. And I'm taking my little oiling can and squirting it in the oil holes up here on the pin. I'd rather have too much oil than not enough. I want it to survive the first startup. Lots of oil in the cylinder walls. And off a video, I did go ahead and plastigauge all of the rods to make sure all those clearances were perfect. And this mark on the piston is going towards the front of the motor. We're dripping oil everywhere, and that's a good thing. Just pushing the piston home. Made it. Making sure I match the stamping with the stamping on the other side. So this is number 5. Sliding these caps on.
Oh, you did put grease on there.
Yeah, put some grease. Oh, since you have rubbery gloves, you want to wipe that grease around the other side of the crankshaft there too. Thank you, miss.
But would it fall off easily now?
It will not fall off because it's going to be bolted on.
Oh, yeah.
Worry not.
You're silly. Fearless knight.
Worry not about the timing chain sprocket. Do I need to give it a bonking?
That's all good. I can do it.
Why is it so hard to push on? No, 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 not yet. And here's the lovely oil pump. Hey, don't break my welding masks. Some of these old steel oil pans, you'll see from the side, there are bumps for each bolt hole. And you just basically got to work them down. I use a body hammer. Just hit right around the hole. And you can tell somebody used too many ugga-duggas to put this down, so you just kind of worked it down until this is a nice flat flange again, and then don't hit it as hard as you can with a wrench when you install the oil pan. Again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and follow along as I put together this budget dream car. Thank you.